Okay, perfect. Let's talk about IT services industry. The interesting thing about that I hadn't invested into this industry for quite a while. And the reason for that was that I didn't really understand their products. They're quite complicated, and in order to understand the quality of this product, you have to be a user of this product or you have to work in this industry. And it's quite tough. And even now, I presume, Dean, if you're working in, for example, online marketing, you understand that sometimes even simple software providers like MailChimp, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, Fusionsoft, when you look at them from outside, you think, oh, it's great. When you start working or you get this service, you realize that they have certain downsides and problems, issues, and etc., etc., etc. So that's what happens in IT industry. Sometimes it's quite tough to analyze their product precisely. Now, another thing about IT industry, IT services, that it's easier to keep high level of sales and profitability for big companies. If the service provider, IT service provider, is a small company with one narrow niche product or service, what happens if there is another competitor appeared on the market? It might hurt the business quite a lot. Okay, and they have to like fight with that. If it is a big company and they provide different type of services, for them it's much easier to survive. So if for whatever reason one product or one service is kind of on downside and people don't buy it or don't use it, they can profit from other services. Okay, for niche companies which operate in one niche, it's quite tough. This situation might happen. So that's why it's extremely important to pay attention to that. And of course, you look at historical movement of the company. And Infosys is quite big company, and they provide the whole range of services. So if you look at some like service providers, IT service, they can be only consulting company, so they only consult. Okay, and then if you want to build something, you have to go to another company. Infosys, they do both. They provide software in business management and provide for different industries. So it could be any type of business. So what they do, they consult. After that, they identify your needs. After that, they design it. After that, they build it. And after that, they support it. So they do the whole range of services for different type of businesses of different sizes. Okay, that's very, very important to know. Another thing is, which is kind of related to this particular industry, is loyalty. I mean, loyalty in the sense that it's very difficult to for customer to switch to another company. And imagine that if you already signed up for service provider and then you already trained your staff, you install it in all your, like you implemented like all your KPIs through this industry. For example, if it is business, everyone is related. Like, I mean, everyone in your company is using the service. And then for whatever reason you decided to switch, it's pretty difficult. And first probably problem is that it's expensive because you have to break the contract. Sometimes it can be possible, but still sometimes you have to pay some fees if you signed up a long-term contract. Another thing that when you install a new program, you still have to buy it and you have to pay for installation, because every software, like huge these services, they have double fees. One fee is for installation of these services into your system, and second one is support. Okay, so it's ongoing payment, and sometimes like first fee is quite expensive. That's why if you already paid to one company and then you realize that this company doesn't provide exactly what you need, it would be very difficult psychologically to pay to another company same type of fees in order to switch, because you're not sure that other company will satisfy all your needs. As I told you in the very beginning, that sometimes it's quite tough to understand that all products and all your needs are satisfied. Okay, so until you start using this program, so that's kind of a big thing. And another problem for switching to another companies, to competitors, is that you have to train your staff, and that's could be a really expensive. Imagine if you have hundreds of people who use the system. To train all these hundreds of people, you have to take few days off, provide a trainer, and then teach them how to do it, and there would be resistance, etc. So it's quite expensive. So that's why if the company already signed up the client, most likely the client will stay for quite long time. Okay, it's not like hardware. If you bought hardware from one company, computers from Apple, then you decided to buy it from IBM, then from Dell. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, but when you do it on services, it could be quite difficult. Now, for smaller companies, what we can say about them, they are very volatile, and their profits can swing big thing. They can move like 50 or 100% within 1 year. They can go up 100%, or they can go to zero or to losses quite big. And the reason for that is that companies kind of have a lot of narrow product, or they have only a couple clients, like 3-4 clients, and then if one client leaves, imagine it's going to affect quite big, the profitability of the company. Okay, because they lose about 25% of revenue, and it might be making the whole difference to make the company profitable or not. And company, by losing one client, can become straight away unprofitable and losing money. So that's why it's very important to pay attention to the size of the company. Of course, smaller company, if they have a very good product and they like get into the very nice niche, they have a higher potential for growth. And the thing about these companies that they could be acquired by bigger company, because big companies, the way they grow, not only organic grow by building themselves up, but also by buying another company. So for them, sometimes it's much easier to buy smaller company rather than to build it yourself. Okay, if they cannot buy, they can create a competition for smaller company and create a really tough life for smaller company. By the way, have you watched the movie? It's called, not a movie, series, Silicon Valley. Put a plus or yes if you watched it, and no if you didn't. It actually shows really well how small companies are struggling within this industry. If you haven't watched it, you can have a look at this, because you will see what kind of dangers small companies are experiencing from big companies. Okay, and it's very interesting movie if you want to have a look at this. Okay, that's about probably all about IT service industries. So the main conclusion is that you have to know this product quite well, okay, before you jump into this industry. Okay, and that will make your life much easier if you know where to go.